Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be an update video on the last video I did talking about the open carry and me being stopped by a police officer because multiple people had called to complain or showed concern, and just the experience. Let's talk about the experience and a bunch of opinions I have and some thoughts and mindset on the whole thing. I want you guys to really know where I'm coming from with this. Okay, so I'm going to explain it in great detail. Probably get sidetracked along the way. I have a lot to talk about. Not sure how long the video is going to be, but here we go. So let me first recap as to what happened in case someone else didn't see the other video. I'll give you the fun Cliff Notes version. How about that? So here I am, right? I'm right here. These are my legs, and I'm exercising. Just walking down the street. Now I happen to stumble upon a gated community. I happen to know people in the community, so I was allowed through the gate, past the guard. The guard, I guess, didn't notice or didn't care that I had my firearm openly displayed. Because I'm exercising, that's me, exercising, it's more comfortable. I actually start off concealed, and at some point during my walk, I thought, this holster's rubbing on me. So I took the 5 inches of material on my shirt and tucked it behind the gun. So now I'm openly displaying a firearm, which in Pennsylvania is completely legal. Don't need a permit for that. So I'm walking, and at some point, someone up here in their house, maybe some old lady, washing her windows. It's summertime. Maybe it's a family outside having some kind of a barbecue. Who knows, really? But they see me. They see me walking, and they go, "What? What's that? What is that? Is that a gun? Oh my God, that man has a gun!" And I have no idea they're even looking at me. I'm just sweating, working, trying to lose some weight, and I'm going along, and all of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, I hear whoop 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 whoop. I'm like, what the? Turn around, there's a cop there. I go, what's this all about? And like immediately I think, probably the gun that's on my side. Probably someone who just doesn't understand that I'm allowed to have a gun on my side. They probably called the police on me. So I stood there and I was very respectful, kept my hands at the, seeing level. It wasn't, no hands in the pockets or anything. I was very, there's my gun. I understand, I have a gun. So here they are. I'm not playing with a gun. Don't shoot me. And so the cop came over, very respectful, however, threw me off with the comment that he'd like to see my concealed carry permit. I'm thinking, no, you don't. I don't need a concealed carry permit because I'm openly carrying in Pennsylvania. In which he replied, you do need one because this is a private community and we have our own laws, So I say, okay, I do have one, so here you go. And he goes, okay, thank you, sir, and have a good day. Give me a little tip of the hat. And went on his merry way, and I decided to make a video about it. So that's the update in case you didn't see the other video. All right, so here's where we were left off. Now, at the end of the day, at first, I'm a little frustrated at the fact that it was a hassle, albeit, very, very small hassle. It only took about 5 minutes of my time. But I'm thinking, what's the big deal? I wish people would know what the laws are. This is my initial thoughts, by the way. I wish people would really just know what the laws are so they don't have to bother me or really take the time with the police. They could be doing other important things. They don't have to come check me out. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to do anything wrong. Okay? That was my initial thought about it. Just very slight frustration. Hey, I have the right to open carry. Why are they bugging me? That kind of a thing. Didn't dwell on it. Didn't really care that much. Later in the day, I got more of a clear mind, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? I get it. I understand that the average person is not used to seeing someone walking around with a gun, and so they got nervous and they called. So I thought, all right, well, that's cool. I mean, it's not cool. I don't agree with it, but I completely understand it. That's fine. I get that. Now the cop, okay, he gets a call about someone with a gun. He's concerned too. He's just going to go check it out. Hey, by all means, please check it out. And I'm actually happy to know that the cop was concerned enough to go check it out. I suppose he could have said something like, well, ma'am, or sir, we live in Pennsylvania. You can have guns. I'm sure he's doing nothing wrong. But honestly, that wouldn't have been a proper response either. As a police officer, it's his job to, protect the people, and someone's showing some concern, so let's go check it out. Let's just make sure everything's cool. I get that. Totally fine. No anger or animosity towards the police officer who came to track me down or the people who called him. Totally fine. I understand it completely. But here's something I want to explain to everyone. First, I have something I want to explain to everyone, Then I have something I want to explain to people who do not live in the United States of America, because this is very important. So please listen up. First, the message to everyone, okay? And the message to everyone is that there are a lot of things that we can do that are completely legal, but they will draw attention to us. And if you do said things, then there might be consequences. Although it's totally fine, I do agree with the concept that if you push the limit, don't be surprised if you get a little bit of attention. Totally understand that. Have the understanding that I usually do carry concealed. This was a particular situation where it was uncomfortable at this point because I am moving around a lot, and decided to just do open carry for that moment. Really didn't think there was a big deal. I did walk past a community pool area. I was at least 100 feet or more away from the pool. It's not like I hung out in a Speedo with a AK on my back. I was walking past. I mean, I can see the people there. I wasn't very close, at least 100 feet or more. So anyway, I mean, that's about the time I think that someone called. It's the most likely situation where someone was there and they go, oh, it's a bad guy. And they called. So I wasn't going out of my way to draw attention to myself. However, there is the understanding that, okay, if you're going to show your gun off, you're going to find someone who really just doesn't understand that you're allowed to do that, and they will show concern. I accept that. Totally fine with that. So that's what I want to explain to everyone, is that I don't necessarily deserve the cop pulling me over, or, I wasn't driving anything, he didn't pull me over, but, he gave me a little whoop, 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 whoop with the siren. And I get that. That's fine. Don't care. The second part I want to explain to just people who don't live in the United States of America, and I really want to make this point because I get comments all the time because people just don't understand what America is about. A lot of people don't live here who watch the videos, and they go, and not everyone, it's a select amount of people, but often enough it happens where I want to comment on it. Someone who lives outside the United States of America might say something along the lines of, you Americans and your guns, or like, why do you need a gun in America? Is it really that bad? And I think they have this envision of like the Old West, where like if they come to America, they're gonna walk in. Well, there's not like a door to America, but you know what I'm saying. They get here and everyone's just shooting each other, and guns ablazing, and everywhere you walk, people's got shotguns on their back, and they got their Glocks on their side, 1911s at the ready. That is just not how it is. And here's a reality check in case you don't know. And I totally get it, because how would you know? If you've never been here, you can only go by what people say, right? Or what you see on TV. And a lot of times when you see American television from outside the world, you're probably watching Cops or something, and it's not a great representation of America. Anything that's on TV having to do with America is usually some kind of drama. That's why it's on TV. It's entertaining to watch. The reality of America is that most people just don't like guns. The average United States citizen doesn't own a gun, hasn't seen a gun, doesn't know how to fire a gun. That's it. That's reality. We're not a gun country. Yes, compared to other countries, we do have more gun advocates, more pro-gun people. Yes, we literally have more guns. But if you took random 100 people from America, I guarantee you every single time, either 99% or 100% of those people do not own firearms, don't care about firearms, and are probably scared of firearms. So me as a person, and even the gun community on YouTube, does not, I repeat, does not represent America or Americans as a whole. We're a group. We're a specialized, narrowed group of people who happen to have this hobby and interest, okay? So I just want to make that very clear, is that if you come to America, we're not all waving guns. In fact, most Americans, born and raised their entire life, they've never even seen one. Never. Now that I've explained that, let me explain a different important part of this whole equation. And that is how the media and how society shows guns to people, okay? If I'm just an average person, I don't grow up, my father's not a hunter, we're not into guns, my family's just an average family, okay? I have no exposure to guns whatsoever. Here's how I am taught my entire life about guns. I see guns in movies, I see guns in the news, and I see guns in all kinds of entertainment, whether it be internet, gaming, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, right? So who do you see with the guns in movies and media? You see good guys and bad guys, right? You don't see average people with guns. Never is there a movie, I can't think of a single movie that I've ever seen in my entire life where there's a scene where they're like on a bus and a guy in the background has a gun on his side. He's not a bad guy. He's not a cop. He's not a good guy. He doesn't save the day. He's just some dude with a gun. You don't see that ever. Hollywood and the media will tell you that the average person does not own a gun. That's how they present it to you. You know who has the guns? The bad guys have the guns. And also the good guys. But the good guys have to have the guns because that's how they fight the bad guys. Good guy, bad guy. Good guy, bad guy. Other people, unarmed. They're just people. They shouldn't have any guns. The bad guys have the guns, the good guys fight them. Good guys always win. It's always hilarious to me in Hollywood. You got 15 thugs shooting fully automatic guns, and they completely miss the good guy, and the good guy's got like a revolver, and he takes out all of them with 15 shots somehow with a 6-shot revolver. That is hilarious to me, and I love watching that in movies. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, get across to you guys is that society as a whole, particularly entertainment in Hollywood, they will lead you to believe that there's two people with guns. If you see someone with a gun, they're one of two people, a good guy or a bad guy. Now, if they're a good guy, they have to have a uniform. They have to be a law enforcement officer or a military personnel of some kind. You don't see good guys with guns in average clothes, okay? And if you do see that in a movie, there's already an understanding of the character, and he's already a cop. He's a cop off duty or something. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, if there's a good person or there's someone doing good, saving people with guns, they have a uniform on, and they represent the law. It's never just Joe Schmo. Never. Now, if they have regular street clothes, they have to be a bad guy. And I'm guaranteeing you, when these people call the police on me, that's what's in their mind. There's a guy walking down the street with a gun. Now, what they could have thought is they could have thought, okay, that guy has a gun. I guess maybe he likes to protect himself, or, in case he needs it, he has it. Of course not. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, what's he going to do with that? He's carrying a gun. That's, oh my God. What's he going to do? Who's he going to go kill? He must be on his way to kill someone right now. You know what? I bet he's going to rob the store in the corner. I better call the police. That's the mindset they have, because you know what? I don't have a uniform on. Guarantee you, and I can, as Joe Schmo, I can go on the internet, I can buy a police uniform. If I wear that same uniform, even though it's illegal, because I'm misrepresenting myself as a police officer, which is a huge crime, that same person saw this same body with a uniform and the same gun, not a question. They don't question it. Oh, the guy's a cop. He can have a gun. Cops have guns. Not a big deal. There's just this very narrow-minded thought process, and I completely disagree with it, but at the same time, I completely understand. You just don't know any different. Okay? If you lived in a bubble with your family, and ever since you were a baby, your parents told you that the center of the earth was filled with chocolate pudding. You never talked to anyone else, never saw it on TV, nothing. It's just you in your own little world. Let's say you're Amish or something, and you don't have, communication with the outside world at all. I mean, like a real Amish guy. I've seen Amish people with, cell phones and stuff. Fakers. I'm talking about the real deal. And every single day, your entire life, no matter what you're doing, every now and then your dad would go, don't forget, center of the earth, chocolate pudding. I mean it. You would think, all right, the center of the earth is filled with chocolate pudding. And then when you grow up, you maybe skip out of that Amishville and you go into the city and you go, yeah, did you know the center of the earth is filled with chocolate pudding? And people look at you like you have 10 eyes. But you truly believe it because that's all you know. It's just like, and this is really off topic, and I knew this would happen, but it's like terrorism. You'll see these 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids that are terrorists, and they have the whole rig, they're going to blow themselves up. They really feel like they're doing what they're supposed to do because they don't know any different. They don't think, I'm a bad guy, but I'll do it anyway. They're thinking, everyone's bad except for me. They don't know any different. So the people who call the cops on me just didn't know any different. And I cannot blame them for not knowing. This is just society. I blame society. But anyway, so that's where I wanted to go with that. Not all Americans are gun people. In fact, it's a very small minority of Americans are gun advocates. Okay, so just get that in your mind. That's very important to know and remember. And I don't represent Americans. I represent me. And that's all. And the second part of the equation was that I'm not mad at anyone for the whole situation. Now, how does this change what I do? Okay, I find that with gun people or the gun topic, there's two extremes. Okay, over here we have hippy dippy hip man, and he's going, "No way, man! No, put down the gun, put it down. Fight with your fists." I love those comments. Grow some balls, put down the gun. That was one of my favorite ones recently. First of all, like, I get what you're saying. You're really not referring to me. You're referring to the thugs and the gangsters in the cities, the punks who are in gangs, and they have to shoot each other instead of fight each other. And I get that whole concept. You fight with your fist, you live another day. We all get that crap. That's not me. You're not talking about me. I don't walk around shooting people. I have a gun just in case I need it. I hope to never use it, but if I do need to use it, I will have it. Okay? So you're very mistaken by throwing a comment like that out there. But it's just, if you don't know, I can't blame you for not knowing. It's not like you heard all the facts. It's not like the person who called me knows, okay, you know what, that guy, he's allowed to have that, but I don't like him. Screw him. I'm gonna call the cops anyway. It didn't get that far in their brain. They just thought, okay, no uniform. I do see a gun. He must be a bad guy. Let me just make sure that the cops take him out before he's an issue to me. Completely understand it. Don't agree with it, but completely understand it. So I'm sure there are other things I wanted to cover in this video, some comments and such, but I really can't think of it, and I got kind of sidetracked there, which I didn't want to. I'm sure once I shut the video off, I'll remember something else. But oh, well, all right. Let me tell you what happened today. This is kind of when I turn the camera on. I mentioned in some comments, I don't know if I mentioned in the video, but the area I was in was a private community. It's a gated community. I was able to get in there because I do know people who live there, so I was a guest, okay? Did walk past the guard at the front gate, and I was armed, but maybe just the way the situation was, he didn't see it or didn't care, that particular guard. They do have their own police force, and what I know now is that the police force they have within there, and this is a major misconception for a lot of people, is that, if there's a community and there's cops there, like their own cops, people think that they're rent-a-cops, and that is just not the case. They're not like, old fat guys with mag lights, just, all they can do is point at your face and tell you to leave. It's not the case at all. In fact, this particular community, and I'm not sure if this is all throughout Pennsylvania or other states, but this specific community, these officers, not only are they armed, they do all carry. They all carry Glock 22s, and by the way, that's the model 22, not 22 caliber. They don't make a Glock 22 caliber, but the 22 is the 40 Smith & Wesson Glock. Okay, it's a very standard staple, service gun. Anyway, so they are able to carry, and they do have the entire full rights as the state police do. Okay, what their job is that when there's a situation, they go control the situation until the state police come. But until that point, they have the exact same rights and power as the state police officers do, which is very interesting to me. Okay, so don't take that job lightly. These people are professionally trained. They go through the same kind of training process as any other state police officer. The other thing I found out, and I went to talk specifically with the chief of police because I wanted to be sure about the whole laws, because I'm still planning on walking through this community occasionally for exercise. It's a good walk, and it's all hilly over there and everything, and I do enjoy the area, and I do have friends that live there. So I wanted to see what the deal was. I wanted to really get down to the nitty-gritty and go, look, what can I do? What can't I do? I'm a law-abiding citizen here. I want to be right. At the same time, I want to be protected just in case. You never know. So I found out that the police officer was not right when he asked me for my concealed carry permit. That although some communities can have bylaws and codes and regulations stating whatever they want, if they agree to it as a community, even though if you think it's ridiculous, you're not obligated to live there or even be there at all. Okay, so if you don't want to abide by their laws, you will be removed, you will be fined, or whatever have you. So, but this particular community does not have anything written in the law about open carry. So he said, I apologize to you, sir. My officer should not have asked you for a concealed carry permit. He should have just assessed the situation. He said, if someone calls, we will go out and see what's going on. I said, look, I respect that. I totally get that. I have no problem with him stopping me. My only concern was with the open carry. Because it was open, I said, what would have happened if I didn't have my concealed permit on me? I'm still legal to open carry, right? And he goes, yes, you're absolutely right, sir. And he didn't really have much to say. He knew that his specific officer was wrong for doing that. At the same time, I told the guy that, look, he was very respectful towards me. He didn't hassle me. He didn't cause any trouble or anything. He just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just causing a ruckus. So, and even though it was causing a ruckus in a sense, it was still my right to do so. It's just, he just played it off. It's something he had to go do. So, yes, I was completely right. Although there are situations, and like I said, I made the first video basically warning you guys, if you do go into these private communities, make sure you know what their laws are, because they can have bylaws which are completely different from state or even county laws, and you do have to abide by them. But in my specific case, it was fine. And if I choose to open carry again and I have 15 people call the cop, say, look, there's a guy with a gun again, it's not a problem. I can do that every day if I wanted to. However, just for the sake of being nice and for not starting crap, because I'm trying to just blend in. I'm just exercising. I'm not trying to be like the guy, ooh, look at me, I can do this. If I want to be a jerk, I can go right back to that pool and just sit outside the thing with my shotgun if I wanted to, on my back. Now, I have a legal right to do that. Would I do that? Of course not. Why would I push that case? Why would I go out of my way to make people feel uncomfortable? Something else I want you guys to understand too is that this is not a showy thing for me. I do carry concealed most of the time. This was just a very specific situation where I wanted to be more comfortable for a moment, okay? And I really didn't see it as a big deal. I knew I can do it, so I did it. It wasn't me trying to be pushy. It wasn't me trying to be showy. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. And I certainly was not trying to make anyone feel uncomfortable. That was my very last intention in the world. It just happened to work out that way. But in the future, I will carry concealed when I'm, exercising. If for some particular reason it's still uncomfortable to me, I will openly carry. I have no qualms about it. It is what it is. If I see, say, a group of people ahead of me, and I know I'm open carrying, maybe just for the sake of doing the right thing, I'll just go ahead and cover it up just for that moment while those people are there. And I really have no problem with that. Now, again, and I think I skipped over this before, but I was talking about the hippy dippy guy, who's totally anti-guns, and then the other side of the spectrum, you have the extremists, which I do not agree with. The guy that says, yes, you have the right to bear arms, and you know what? I'm going to stand in front of the church with an AK-47 and march on the street, and I can do this. This is my right. This is the law. You can't stop me. That kind of a person goes about the entire thing the wrong way and actually makes us gun owners look bad. Okay? Yes, I can walk around with an AK-47. I can legally do that. Why would I bring that attention to myself? Why would I go out of my way to make people feel uncomfortable? Okay, that's a form of terrorism within itself. We have the right. It doesn't mean we're going to do it. You know what I mean? And those kinds of people who go out of their way to be jerky just to prove a point, I don't think that's right. And I don't agree with that. I don't push my agenda or people on, or opinions on anyone else. If you're that person, good for you. Do whatever you want. Just don't ask me to be involved with that. So I don't like the extreme either way. I don't like the, oh my God, guns are horrible. And I don't like the, well, I'm going to put a gun in your face every moment I can because it's completely fine and you can't do crap. I can do whatever I want. Neither one of those people are right. Okay, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm that perfectly cool porridge. It's not too hot, not too cold. I don't want to upset anyone. I just want to go about my business. But yes, I do have the right to carry a firearm. And no, you can't stop me. That's kind of where I stand. But I'm not going to get in your face about it. I'm going to do whatever I can to kind of just blend in and do my thing. So I just wanted to comment on this, tell you guys what the deal was with this whole thing. It's crazy. There's so many people who are against guns and so many people who are so for guns. It's just the battling and the headbutting. It's nuts. But I wanted to comment on it, tell you my opinions about the whole thing, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully you stuck around for the whole video. I know it's probably a long one. I don't keep track of time. In fact, I took my watch off when I got home. I still have a pretty nasty watch tan that I'm trying to get rid of. So I haven't been carrying my watch lately. But anyway, just wanted to mention it. No more issues with the guns. I'll just continue to carry concealed as to not bother these sheeple. And that's pretty much it. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. There's definitely other things I want to talk about, but for now, I guess that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.